year is 1918. The imperialist powers of the West want to take control of the roads that lead east, giving them access to the oil reservoirs of the Middle East. By the end of the bloodiest war history has ever witnessed, World War I, they have at last reached their objective, and in doing so have brought about the collapse of the once mighty 600-year-old Ottoman Empire. Istanbul under occupation is the tale of the struggle, pain, love, treachery, victories, disappointments and valor, in short, of the humanity experienced in the darkest hours of Turkish history. Rain is about to fall. The air is heavy under its weight. November's wet winds whistle past the Turkish players of Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, the two most famous Turkish football teams. The pitch is on Taksim Hill, overlooking the Bosphorus. Şeref dribbles the ball past the Galatasaray left back, turns to his left and then crosses the ball towards the goal. Mehmet strikes a volley while the ball still floats in mid-air. The ball blasts off the crossbar and then gaining height, it lands under some bushes. Mehmet runs towards the bushes, showered with friendly boos and shaken fists. He stands up and freezes. The ball falls from his hands, his eyes fixed to the spot. The navies of the Allied powers have entered the Bosphorus. It's November the 13th, 1918. Just a few years previously, Allied ships and soldiers, along with their dreams, had sunk deep into the seas around the Dardanelles. But now, after a 4-year-long battle, on the morning of November the 13th, 1918, they are the ones to enter the Bosphorus. The gun turrets of their battleships point watchfully towards the shores as they steam past. The Sultan and the liberals around him are ready to either be a colony of the British or Americans, so long as he can keep his throne and they their personal assets. The predecessors of British Petroleum and Shell for the British and the Standard Oil Company for the Americans are set to siphon off the unequaled energy resources lying under Ottoman soil, and the Ottoman leaders simply don't care. The sole purpose of the occupation forces is to satisfy the decrees of the Sykes-Picot Treaty. Secretly signed between the British, French and the Russians, it will distribute the petrol-rich Ottoman lands to newly formed satellite states whose borders are still being neatly drawn with rulers on the conference table. According to the secret terms of the Sykes-Picot Treaty, the British, French and Russians will share the Ottoman lands. After giving hush money to silence the Greeks and the Italians, they have located their armies on favored territories. To the east of Turkey, a so-called free Kurdish country and a free Armenia are to be established. In reality, these satellite states will be anything but free, but will act as the colonies of their imperialist masters and will open to them the doors of their oil fields. The empire has caved in. The Sultan has caved in. The Turks no longer have the strength nor the morale to resist. There is not even a leader left for any fight back. The terms of the armistice require that the Ottoman army hand over their armory to the occupiers. In the midst of this chaos, Mustafa Kemal Pasha crosses the Bosphorus in a shabby military boat, passing the occupying ships, and utters the historical words, "As they have come, so they will go." Now he has to organize the resistance with dedicated friends who, like him, think that the choice they face is either independence or death. Our story is the tale of a particular period and of a war of liberty to free occupied soil. Istanbul is under the occupation of British, French, Italian, Anzac, Indian, Senegalese and Greek soldiers. The guns of hundreds of warships face the city, and every corner of the town is under the control of the occupation forces. But there is something in this scenario that the occupiers have not counted on. The twin forces of Mustafa Kemal and the world's first nationalist struggle against imperialism, personified by Mustafa Kemal. Football. The British organise a football tournament so they can humiliate the Turks on their own soil. However, their cunning and brilliant mind for diplomacy will not be enough this time. These football matches become the symbol of the national combat that is being led by Mustafa Kemal. Our story is the story of a bunch of heroes in occupied Istanbul. By day, they play football matches with the occupation country's mixed teams. By night, they break into the invaders' ammunition stores and carry off the guns to Anatolia. In the Turkish footballers' minds, there was only one thought at this time: either independence or death. Amidst this story of bravery, we witness the impossible love of Mehmet, who is also fighting for the independence of his country. The other hero of this love story is Anne-Marie, the daughter of British Oil Company Istanbul representative Sir George Campbell. As the fight for independence drags on, the most natural and precious fight of all, for love, is played out in all its glory before the eyes of the audience. Exterior, British Lovers Club, backyard, night. Mehmet and Anne-Marie embrace with passion and yearning. Behind a building in a cozy corner of the garden, under a tree. The rain picks up, their lips connect. While lightning and thunder are in the background, they whisper.
Gitmek istedi gitti. Hem anlıyorum hem çok acı. Tek taraflı bitti.
Occupied Istanbul witnesses a great love story, while it is also kindling the flames of resistance that lead to the War of Independence. And all the while, the fight against imperialism is seen through football matches that resemble nothing less than the front lines of battle.